Hello, my name is Colin, and I'm here to bring you the recap of Season 18, Episode 1 of The Real Housewives of Orange County. Let's jump right in. All right, Season 18 opens up about Shannon's DUI and car accident. It seems like this is going to be a big storyline in the season. Spoiler alert, I have seen this season all the way through, and it is. Then Emily talks about losing over 40 pounds, and she looks absolutely amazing. She says she's obsessed with working out, possibly to the point of over obsessing. Shannon has a new rental near the beach. She says she moved because she doesn't need such a big place and wanted to be closer to the beach. I don't know about that, but it still looks stunning and beautiful. She said she got in the DUI because her and John got into a fight and she wanted to rev the engine and really prove to him that she really upset him. She went to a wellness program for a month and she said she was doing therapy and really working on herself because of the accident. Tamara didn't want to do Tres Amigas anymore, which is a live show with her, Shannon, and Vicky, because it was a lot about drinking and she didn't think it was an appropriate time after her DUI. So she's making a big stance here. Shannon reveals that John is now dating Alexis Bellino, and she says she's so upset about it because of the lawsuit between her and Alexis's ex-husband Jim Bellino. Apparently there was like hundreds of thousands of dollars. They talk about it later in the episode, but her and Tamara were dragged into this huge lawsuit with Jim Bellino, I think for defaming him, and like Shannon loses like $500,000 or Tamara loses $500,000 and Shannon lost like $300,000. Like it was this crazy lawsuit. So Shannon's still chapped about that. Heather reveals she bought a new house in Beverly Hills that she and Terry are going to completely renovate and redo the whole thing. She says she's taking it down to the studs, which this is a huge house. She said she got it at a huge discount. I think it was listed at like 40 million and they got it for 18 million or something like that. Those numbers don't even register to me because they're so big. But mazel to her. The house does look a little dated. It looks like it needs a little work. But from what I've seen on the show prior, they're going to do great things with that house. Can't wait to see it. Emily is also renovating her house, and it looks like it is taking a very long time, and they're doing it room by room and living in the house with small children. That can be no easy feat. Mazel to her as well. Gina talks about how someone saw Shannon in the grocery store with a lot of alcohol in her cart. She's upset because Shannon gave her so much grief over her DUI. I think that it's very interesting that Shannon was coming after Gina. Obviously, probably, she thought she was better than everybody else in the moment. And now, look, like, be careful what you do and say to people because karma can bite you in the ass in a big way. And I think that's what's happening to Shannon right now. Gina talks about Travis's struggle with his ex and how it is affecting the relationship in a negative way. And he's moving out of the house that they bought together, but not breaking up. She's hoping it will make the relationship stronger and better. This is very interesting to me. I get it that he's got baggage, but I feel like, in my personal opinion, in a relationship, maybe you should lean into when somebody's having a hard time because I feel like Travis did that with her when she was having issues with his ex. I mean, obviously, I don't live in their lives, so I don't know the ins and outs of what happened, but I do think that Gina is abandoning him a little bit, just from my perspective. Jen talks about being evicted from her rental home, which Gina helped her find, and also talks about her divorce with her ex, who was supposed to pay most of the rent, which he obviously is not. So this is crazy. She goes into detail about how her rent was like $20,000. She was responsible for a small portion. Can't remember if she said it was like $2,000 or something, and he was supposed to pay the rest, and he's not been paying. So now they're getting evicted. And Gina was the one that helped her find this rental property. So Gina is pissed because it looks bad for her. Jen then talks about moving her and her kids in with her boyfriend Ryan and is worried about them not working out. So yeah, you're putting kind of all your eggs in one basket again, in my opinion, by moving in with your boyfriend. I think they've been together for a while. I can't really remember how long they've been together, but you're moving all of your kids into your boyfriend's house. I mean, the relationship seems pretty stable, at least on camera, but that just seems like a very scary move to me that you are depending on a man. Again, I mean, that's how you got into this situation in the first place. So, I mean, she doesn't seem to have a lot of options, but it just seems very scary to me. Alexis, Heather, and Emily meet up for dinner, and Heather talks about how she wants to be a friend for Alexis right now. Yeah, Heather talks a little bit about how Alexis has fallen on hard times and her father just passed away and that type of thing, and that's why she wants to be there for her. I don't know if Heather just wants an alliance in the friend group or what's going on there. It just seems a little a little odd to me. What do you guys think? Emily talks about rumors that John never paid for anything. These rumors are basically from Shannon. Never paid for anything, and Alexis stands up for Jim and calls him Jimmy J. I love this. And then Heather goes on to say that this is the best rebrand since Mayo went to aioli. It's kind of a little funny scene, but ultimately Emily calls John a douchebag on camera in her interview, which I thought was hysterical. Shannon talks about the consequences of her DUI and how she feels guilty for what she did. So she was talking to her lawyer in a scene and kind of going over like what are the next steps, and she's showing true remorse for her DUI. I think she's really embarrassed about it. Tamara goes to get a tattoo with her daughter and talks about her estranged daughter, Sydney. So she goes to the tattoo parlor with her daughter, Sophia, who she says hasn't been on camera because Simon, her ex, did not sign the release for her to be on the show. And so they go get tattoos together, and it's very clear that Sophia does not want to talk about her sister, Sydney, or her dad, and yet Tamara still brings it up. It's kind of funny. Gina sits down and talks to Travis about him moving out. He seems to me like he's not very happy with this, but he's supporting Gina's decision probably because of his ex-partner's drama situation. So again, he is backing Gina's decision and being a great man and being like, okay, I'll move out. I'm not happy about it, but whatever you think is going to be best for our relationship. I just thought that it was so funny that all these girls have these glam squads and they get ready for every single event. Like, they're going to a luncheon. I get it. They want to look cute, but like, they've got to be spending so much money on these glam teams for they do it for like every dinner, everything like that. I just thought it was really funny, this like shot of Shannon. Alexis reveals in the car ride to the luncheon that her and John are having a ton of sex. She said she had a sleepover the night before and she was really tired and she needed an espresso. Good for her. You're getting laid. Put it all out there on camera. That's why they brought you on the show, honey. Also on the car ride to the luncheon, the new girl Katie gets introduced. She says she's a friend of Sutton's, and that's how she knows the group. Shannon is worried about getting her dress wrinkled on the way to the luncheon as well. I just thought this was hysterical. Shannon cracks me up. She is really, truly comic relief in the show, and I just love that aspect about her, and I just thought this was really funny, so I put in a clip here of her like laying down trying not to get her dress wrinkled. Katie and Heather meet at the luncheon, but Katie says they have met before and Heather has never acknowledged her existence in the past. So Katie goes on to elaborate, saying that her and Heather have met in the past in social situations and Heather has never acknowledged her until she was basically cast on the show. She's coming for Heather. Gina talks about how she's getting pulled into Jen's eviction because she helped her find the house, and she says it's very awkward seeing her at the party. She goes on to say that, like, I don't even know if Jen knows how much trouble she's in. Like, Gina's getting CC'd on these emails from the other realtor, and she's just kind of dragged into this whole mess of Jen's when she helped her out. Shannon pulls Alexis aside for a chat at the luncheon to clear the air. Shannon starts off by talking about the lawsuit with Alexis's husband. She says she can work with her, but does not want to be friends. And then Alexis responds by reiterating that she's the new girlfriend of John's and says she had nothing to do with the lawsuit, and then reiterates again that she has John now and storms off. And then the episode closes and it says to be continued. Very great episode to start off with. I thought it was great. Hopefully these recaps help you if you're trying to catch up or get ready for next season. I've created a playlist for this entire season so you can go through and watch all of the episodes. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will check you on the next one.